Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Institution of Global Professional 50 webinar. I'm hoping that you guys are doing great. Uh, can you hear me? Am I audible to everyone? Thank you so much. I think I'm audible. And thank you, everyone, for joining with us and this wonderful evenings. And dear viewers, today I'm your host for this session. This is Nurul Azim from Bangladesh. By profession, I've been working for an automobile company in Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to be host with this webinars. It's my delight to welcome all, all of you to this institution of global uh, professional free webinars. Thank you all for joining us. And I'm hoping that we are going to enjoy an amazing session because in this session we are going to discuss an important topic, that is strategies readings for readings and making reading fun. So this is kind of teaching encouragement, how we can make the teaching profession more interesting, more encourageable. So who are new here, I would like to talk about the IGP. So IGP is one of the largest online based platform. We have also offline platform and as well, where we are sharing our knowledge and creating environment for innovation and also training. We do believe that academic knowledge sometimes is not enough to sustain in this competitive era. So we feel that we need something extra, that is sometimes it is very hard to achieve, to from the other institution because all are paid. So that is why IGP is trying to provide all kinds of amazing training where you can feel, you can learn with, that is completely free of cost. And thanks to IGP for creating this amazing platform where we can learn so many things. First and foremost, I would like to request everyone and to please share this website, please this webinar with your friends and family members. I do believe that sharing is caring. If you are sharing, if your one sharing can change someone's life. So don't forget to share. You can also comment. So how we design the session today? Our session is our guest will join with us. Our guest, she's from Philippines, and after her session, there would be an Q&A session where you can quiz test as well, where you can participate. And after that, you can also participate for certification, and also you can enjoy your certificate. That is really amazing. You can also use your certification in your profession in other era. That is worldwide recognized certification. So I hope you are not going to miss this amazing opportunity, and I'm wishing that you will stay with us. Thanks again for joining. Thank you so much who already joined with us, who are commenting. I can see that huge number of comments already people dance, and definitely will reach and each and read all the comment each and for each and every one. And thanks again for joining with us, and thanks to IGP family and requesting everyone. Today we are representing the webinar number 445. Yesterday we have finished, in the mornings we already covered 444 webinars. This is really massive achievement for us, and with your help and cooperation. Without that, couldn't be possible. So we are really happy, and I feel really honored to be associated with this amazing platform, and also having chance to meet, interact with this type of nice people as well. And no more delay, before going to the main session, before going to invite our honorable guest, I would like to request everyone, please share this webinar. You can also find us over the YouTube, over the LinkedIn, and also Facebook, Twitter as well. So if you want, you can see, you can check out our website. Don't forget to receive your certification. This is really amazing. It can really help you to change your life. And every day we are arranging 3 sessions in the mornings, in the afternoon, and also evening. So select the thing, whatever you want to do, whatever you would like to achieve, whatever you want to learn. I think you will get all the things in here, because we are inviting all most of the guests are successful and they are highly skilled in their specific field. So this type of course, this type of lesson that you won't get over the internet might be, because this is completely real life. They are sharing from their real life. And I'm hoping that you will be with us till the end of the session. And thanks again, thank you so much for joining. And last, I'm requesting everyone, please share the webinar with your friends, and also you can comment if you have any question. If you have any relevant question, you can also ask us after the session. We'll definitely try to answer your question from our guest and from our side as well. So no more delay, we can get into the topic. We are inviting our honorable guest, Zethida D. Subua. Please, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, good
Hel-
afternoon, everyone.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, ma'am. So before going to start the session, if you don't mind, would you mind to introduce a bit yourself, please?
Um, Once again, good afternoon, everyone. I am Mrs. Gisette Diwan Sibua, a grade 1 teacher of Taog Tiglawa Elementary School, District of San Joaquin South, Division of Iloilo, DepEd, Philippines.
All right. Thank you so much. Please, you can start the presentation. And dear viewers, please enjoy the session, and it's gonna be an amazing session. Thank you so much. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Tanda ko parang hindi ko makita ako.
Ma'am, are you facing any difficulties?
Good
Okay, I
afternoon
think.
once again. Do you
Okay,
hear
please
me,
go.
sir?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon once again. I am Gisette Diwan Sigua, Master in Education, Major in Educational Management, Teacher 1 and Grade 1 Advisor of Taog Tiglawa Elementary School, District of San Joaquin South, Division of Iloilo, DepEd, Philippines. Introduction. Reading is no longer considered as an ability acquired only in childhood. Instead, it is viewed as an expanding set of knowledge, skills, and strategies that individual builds on throughout life in various contexts, through interactions with their peers and the wider community. The massive growth in the use of computers and technological devices has moved literacy skills into a digital domain that requires a range of new and different skills. It is also acknowledged that early years education is crucial for the early development of literacy skills. According to DECA 1991, cited by Mesica 2007, page 4, reading is to understand what is read. So, readers must be able to cognitively process the words by drawing meaning from their own experience and knowledge to understand the author's message. He cited that reading is a visual process that begins with one's ability to use one's vision to interpret printed symbols. If we are asked which comes first, writing or reading? Of all skills vital for success are reading and writing. Some even see writing as completely separate skill, but research shows that reading and writing develop along similar timeline in young children. Children's ability to read words is interwoven with their ability to write letters and words. It's a little like the chicken and the egg. Which comes first? Many people think that children first learn to write and then to uh, um, uh, many people think that children first learn to read and then to write. Sometimes reading is a struggle, but there are other avenues to literacy that appeal to those children who are concrete and tactile. When a child begins to understand that writing is a form of communication and the marks on paper convey a message, they are called an emergent writer. Emergent writing progresses along a developmental continuum, just like reading and talking. The stages when a child moves through begins with random marks, progresses to conventional spelling, and ends with the ability to put their thoughts on paper in a way that let's go to what is reading. The most fundamental definition of reading is being able to interpret written symbols and understand the printed materials. The major goal for reading is to take meaning from the text by Bruce Johnson of 2017. Reading is an active process of constructing meaning of words. Reading with purpose helps the reader to direct information towards a goal and focuses their attention. Although the reasons for reading may vary, the primary purpose of it is to understand the text. Learning to read is about listening and understanding as well as working out what's printed in the pages. Through hearing stories, children are exposed to wide range of words. This helps them build their own vocabulary and improve their understanding when they listen, which is as vital as they start to read. Now, let's go to why is reading important? Is reading really important? First, reading is important because it develops important language skills. Whether it is a book, a magazine, or e-books, reading can help cement a child's language skills. Exposure to language helps a child to further develop their vocabulary in a way that everyday conversation cannot. At even at early ages, when a child does not able to come to conclusions about the new words from the context of material. Second, reading is important because it is a process. Reading involves stages. The pre-reading stage, which allows the reader to activate background knowledge, preview text, and develop a purpose of reading. The stage look at the title of the selection and the list of all the information that comes to mind about the title. It is in the pre-reading stage. And during stage, this is where the reader makes pred- predictions as they read and then confirms or revises the predictions. After reading, it allows the reader to retell the story, discuss, or makes a summary. And comprehension is an intentional, active, and interactive process that occurs before, during, and after reading. Next, reading is important because it is especially necessary with today's technology. Where some thought that the advent of computers would make the reading less important, the exact opposite to the truth that it has made reading even more important. Gathering information on a web or even communicating via email and social media all require reading and writing. Even text requires reading and writing skills. So, reading is a vital skill also to find a job. Reading is also important because it opens up to the world. Very few of us are world travelers, right? And even those who can only see so many places in one's lifetime. Being able to read opens the world up to a child. They can learn about different cultures, histories, and societies. It shows life in a different way, both real and imagined. It can inform about ever leaving their homes. It can inform about never leaving their homes. Reading is important also because it can enhance social skills. This may sound like a contradiction since much of the person's reading is done in solitary. Consider this early in life. A child's reading consists of being read to or going to or a time. This makes books and reading something to be shared. It builds a relationship with reading. As time goes on, on the person does more individual reading, it can become a conversation piece, much like a popular TV show. A person who has just read a great books wants desperately to share the story with someone else. In addition, being one who is well read is still a positive attribute in the society, as it often implies increased intelligence, being better cultured, and having a more interesting background for debates and conversations. Now, let's go to the challenges in teaching reading. To parents, learn to teach children these five things. First, getting started in writing from left to right, and the uppercase and the lowercase letter recognition. Third, when to say inside the lines. From the beginning writing, lines are very essential. Fourth, phonics, letter to sound association. And fifth, reading from left to right. Teachers make a difference in the success of their learners when they hold a fundamental belief that all children can learn to read, and when they have the skills and determination to make it happen. These teachers base their classroom practices on sound reading theory, provides instruction that meets the specific learning needs of their learners, create an organized and stimulating learning environment, regularly assess learners' reading achievement in relation to the expectation of the curriculum. They do not work alone, but see that every child is able to read by at the end of grade 3. One of the earliest things that learners learn in school is how to read. However, the act of teaching children to read is not easy. It cannot be taught in only a couple of lessons, and there is no one way to teach reading to all learners. Here are also the challenges in teaching reading. First, teaching reading is not as simple as it looks like. While you may wonder how difficult it could be taught to young, active learners to read, the reality is that it's quite tricky. Teaching reading is a job that requires an expert. Reading does not come to learners easily or naturally. Instead, it is complex learning achievement that required through a long process and multiple strategies. Learning how to read requires effort and interest from the learners, but it requires considerable knowledge and skills from a teacher. Second challenge, providing knowledge and skills. It is critical that every teacher have an understanding of the complexities of the reading process and the skills to implement all the components of the effective reading instruction. In order to help children decode and comprehend text in reading, classroom teachers must first encourage children to use their prior knowledge and provide them with appropriate background information or they lack context for understanding. Provide direct instruction for promoting decoding fluency and comprehension. answer children's questions, and monitor performance. Think aloud so that children become aware of how capable reader and writer approaches literacy tasks. Then, provide opportunities for children to engage in purposeful talk in classroom, recognizing that oral language is the foundation of the development of the reading and writing skills. Then, help children ask and answer questions to acquire clarity or confirm information and explore ideas. Recognize the role of higher order thinking skills in reading achievement. Then, reflect on questions posed by children in order to gain insights into their thinking. Identify the nature and extent of their prior knowledge that need to be addressed in the classroom. Then, make the link between reading and writing instruction, recognizing that these are interconnected processes and that improve in one's prompts improvement in the other. And the third challenge is to motivating children to read. Teachers have a pivotal role in helping children to develop and maintain a positive attitude towards learning and literacy. Motivated readers read more, use more complex cognitive strategies, thus become better readers. To motivate children to read, classroom teachers must possess the following: demonstrate a passion for reading, act as a model readers for the children, know how children perceive the value of reading, and aim to enhance the perceived value by linking reading with the children's interests and goals. Then, know how children perceive their own ability as readers and support them in developing a positive self image by having them work with texts that are at their current level by providing them with enough time to complete their reading tasks. Next, encourage children to make learning reading a meaningful task, taking into account the age, the interest, and the needs. Provide a rich and varied literacy environment that includes interesting reading materials, displays, and engaging multimedia resources, the audio, video, and overheads, and that reflects the culture diversity of the school and the community. Then, provide opportunities for children to choose their own reading material and develop a sense of control over the reading process. Provide opportunities for discussion, teamwork, and other social interactions that make reading interesting and fun. Then, integrate reading into other activities to show that it is an essential everyday skill with practical value. Focus on the internal reward of personal satisfaction and the achievement of goals that matter to the individual child. Next, planning and organizing. Teachers adapt their instruction to match their children's current development in reading, recognizing that as children progress, they will need to spend less time developing and practicing some skills and more time to others. They use classroom time as effectively as possible, with an appropriate combination of large group, the small group, and the individual instruction. As planners and organizers, they provide large block of uninterrupted classroom time for reading instruction and plenty of meaningful practice. Then, maintain predictable schedules and classroom routines so that children know what are expected of them in various activities throughout the day. Also, implement and monitor these established routines before starting small group instruction to ensure that children are able to work independently while the teacher is otherwise occupied. Then, use reflective practice, observation, and variety of assessment strategies to identify each child's learning needs and provide differentiated instruction. Use organized structures and classroom management techniques that enable children to be responsible managers of their own learning. Then, monitor children's time on tasks and engage in the tasks. Next, use organized structures and classroom management techniques that enable children to be responsible managers of their own learning. Monitor children's time on tasks and engagement in the tasks. And next, promoting teamwork. Effective teachers understand the importance of working as a part of an early literacy team. They recognize that teachers in early grades lay an essential groundwork for children to succeed in higher grades. They should meet with colleagues to plan cooperatively. Together, they will agree common literacy strategies, establish school literacy goals, and build capacity within the school. And the sixth challenge in teaching reading is making cultural connections. Teachers' expectation of the relationship with the learners profoundly affects their learning. Numerous research studies in literacy have shown that learners more academically successful when they feel welcomed, valued, and challenged by materials that builds upon their prior knowledge, experiences, and interests. When these attitudes, behaviors, and curriculum considerations are missing, children from culturally and linguistic diverse background may resist learning by Wills of 2000. All teachers have vital role in promoting respect for cultural diversity of their learners and the community. Good teaching builds upon the cultural language backgrounds, ways of making meaning, prior knowledge that all children bring to classroom. And effective teacher develop their knowledge of other cultures, provide a welcoming environment that affirms all children, work with family members and builds bridges of cooperation. And the next is the classroom demands a lot from teachers. While teaching in class, teacher has more than one responsibility. Not only must the children be exposed to a variety of texts, books that develop their reading skills, but they must also be having fun and to be stimulated. There are learners in a class and all of them are different from one another. The teacher must make sure that instructing in a clear and comprehensive way to all. At the same time, All must have fun and enjoy learning. Teachers who are committed to, to excellence in reading instruction recognize that there is no single instruction program that is effective to all children. That is why they, they understand the importance of improving professional knowledge individually and within a team and view themselves as a lifelong reflective learners. They seek out opportunities to expand their knowledge by participating in peer coaching, mentorship, professional reading circles, networking opportunities with colleagues, and literacy workshops and conferences. Most effective professional development happens in schools during school days and everyday experiences. Focused professional development affirms for teachers that they have the central role to play in children's learning and shows them how to be successful in the role. Then, why teachers are unprepared to teach reading? While teachers may be motivated and genuinely excited to teach children how to read, teaching reading requires practice. The expertise needed to teach reading can only be gained through experiences. Teaching reading is considered to be an easy task. It is why new teachers are conveniently given the task of teaching children how to read. However, they must be thoroughly trained to develop competent reading instruction. Let's go to a strategy. What is a strategy? A strategy is an action used to help learners increase their reading abilities. We use strategies for the following reasons: making reading more sense for teaching and learning to read. Good readers use strategies naturally. Strategies make reading more fun. And before you start, decide the purpose of your reading. This will determine what strategy will work best for you. Underline keywords and ideas that you need to remember. Teaching and learning to read is a challenging for many learners, even more when the process is unclear. Without effective strategies, many learners struggles and have a large percentage will be left behind. Reading strategies is a broad term used to describe the planned and explicit actions that helps readers translate print to meaning. Reading is fundamental skills that we all use every single day. We read newspapers, books, directions, text messages, recipes, emails, safety warnings, and so on. Reading is everywhere. It's no secret that developing proficient reading. Reading skills from a young age is essential not only for academic success, but for success in all areas and stages of life. However, reading can be a challenging skill that may struggle to master. And as teachers, we want nothing more than to help our learners become comfortable and confident readers. Pay attention to the needs of children who are at risk of reading failure and seek timely intervention and supports when it is clear that excellent classroom instruction will not be enough. The first strategy in teaching reading is focus on phonics, phonemic awareness, and fluency. Alphabetic understanding and letter sounds relationship may use words alphabetic principle interchangeably with phonics. It relates to letter-symbol relationship and spoken words. Phonemic awareness involves breaking word parts to isolate and identify specific sound of phonemes. To effectively teach reading beginners, parents and teachers must use different teaching strategies for these two reading skills. Let's continue with the specific examples. For phonics, phonemic awareness, and fluency, let's introduce single letter and their sounds. In mother tongue based multilingual education, phonetic language is very essential. But in English, it is not a phonetic language, but language learning is a lot about listening and ears like sounds. For example, of phonemic and phonetic awareness, let's introduce the letters and its sounds, and then we will blend it. Like for example, a k, o, and the r, and let's blend it even as car. The k, o, and do, we will and blend it as it is a word cow. Confusion can set it, but reducing pace and increasing fun games for practice can help. Get kids to say words which start with that sounds. This is from phonetic and phonemic awareness still. We are still in the number one strategy. This can be combined with the same teaching strategies that you can use to teach vocabulary words. Put the pictures with words next to every item and emphasize the sound of initial letter. Okay, this is the only example, no? The letter M, which sounds as as in monkey, and the K as in kangaroo. The letter P sounded as panda. And also this is the picture words. The use picture words. Children identify pictures more than sounds. So, using picture words to teach reading is also helpful. There we have pictures of apple, a baby, a bag, and a ball. A apple. B baby. B bag, and B ball. Use picture words. Typically, kids read pictures rather than words, right? Then they pretend to read words they memorize. As kids see the pictures, they can easily say the word. But remember, those pictures should be matched with different words for word recognition. And eventually, the children begin to read basic and simple words. And this one, try the basic tongue twister. The kids will laugh. It's better to start with the first four words and slowly add the rest meaningfully in steps or might turn into noisy classroom. Example of a tongue twister. Betty's big bunny bubbled by the blueberry bush. Betty's big bunny bubbled by the blueberry bush. Betty's big bunny bubbled by the blueberry bush. And the children will laugh, but they enjoy learning. Then another is introduce the sight words. There are some words that are difficult to decode phonetically because they don't follow the rules of phonics or the letter sound. the letter sound relationship. These are known as sight words. These words need to be memorized rather than sounded out. Sight words fishing using cutouts with words on the back of them or the repetition of the game helps the learner master the word, and it is lot fun the reading from the printout. Example of the basic sight words is this: as, ate, found, all, then, going, funny, and so many more. They they are not read by its letter sound, but they are read. They do not follow the rule. Then another is create the words families. Word families are words that rhyme. Teaching children about word families help them see patterns in text and encourage them to begin reading by grouping sets of letters within a word. This is a word example, the word family of ab, cab, dab, gab, jab, and so on and so forth. The family of Ed, Bad, Had, Dad, and the family of I, Bag, Zag, Zap, Rug, Jag, family of M, Jum, Yum, and so on and so forth. Then, we can also introduce rhyming words. Word families are words that rhyme. Teaching children about word families help them see patterns in text and encourage them to begin reading by grouping sets of letters within a word. And if the learners memorize or identifies all the phonemic or the letter sound recognition, the sight words, they can we can go to the fluency. We can measure the fluency of their reading ability. Reading fluency is an ability to decode individual words accurately and automatically. Fluent readers tend to have a better overall comprehension. Phonics and fluency truly go hand in hand. You cannot really have one without the other. Avoid saying, come on, hurry up, oh, slow down. Fluency can be a challenging skill to master, and one will take time and practice. The second strategy in teaching reading is explicitly teach and display reading strategies. We all know that amazing feeling that comes with creating the perfectly decorated classrooms. Everything is in its place and organized until the kids get there. But when it comes to decor, it should be meaningful. You can make your classroom a powerful part of reading curriculum by displaying strategies around the room. Keep sets in your reading corners for shared use. And the third, the word walls. A word wall is often simply a classroom decoration or a fancy bulletin board, but maintaining a word wall is highly effective strategy for promoting literacy in your classroom. Word wall are powerful tools to help learners work in their own spelling, vocabulary, and reading skills. Okay, here is the example of a word wall. A words that start all the words that starts with letter A, letter B, C, D, and so on and so forth. These word wall are displayed, of course, in our wall for the children to read even at break time, recess, or a lunch break. Next strategy is write to read. It's commonly knowledge that great readers often great writers and vice versa. Reading and writing go hand in hand. Both skills work together to improve each other. When children are engaged in writing, they end up working on their reading skills at the same time. Using writing as a strategy to improve reading skill is a sneaky way to disguise practicing things like fluency, comprehension, and phonics. May mark up pages or the most interesting part. Next strategy is to develop their vocabulary and comprehension. The words readers read and know, the larger the reader's vocabulary and the easier it is to make sense of the text. In the simplest term, vocabulary means all known words, including sight words and high frequency words. Reading comprehension is an ability to understand a written passage of text. It is essential for a rich academic, professional, and personal life. Here are the examples of high frequency words, the and so forth and so forth. These words help them develop the vocabulary and the comprehensions. Next strategy is to employ the 3-2-1 reading strategy. A fun technique to use when teaching reading is something called 3-2-1 strategy. This can be helpful in monitoring children's engagement. After they complete the passage, ask them to write down three things they have learned, two things that are interesting, and one question that they have in mind. This purposefully improve the reading comprehension. The next strategy is observing and assessing. Teachers know that ongoing assessment is fundamentally important for guiding children's instruction. They use variety of assessment tools such as reflection, conference with learners, and informal reading interventions. Continually adapt teaching methods that match a child's growth. Provide meaningful feedbacks, celebrate their successes, and let them know where their improvement needed. The next strategy in teaching reading is to avoid overcorrection. As teachers, it's second nature is to want to correct when they make mistakes. As a general rule, when children are reading through a text for the first time, do not interrupt. Let them get through it, mistakes and all. Before their second time reading through the text, discuss any unknown words or mistakes made. Then, you can model the correct pronunciation for the mistakes. Do not laugh. It is the most damaging things that you can do when teaching reading. In early stages of learning to read, building confidence is often the main objective. So try to keep the corrections and the comments in minimum. Once you have a confident reader, you can focus more on improving accuracy, fluency, and pronunciation. Next strategy, offer a proper praise. Of all the reading strategies that have been discussed, praising your children is by far is most critical one to utilize when teaching reading. First and foremost, praise your children's successes, big or small, for their efforts, dedication, and even their struggles. It is inherently in a child's nature to want to make their teachers proud. In praising, we can say, "You are amazing. You are brilliant. You are a superstar." Offer praise, offer proper praise. Commonly sentiments may sound like, you read that perfectly, you're smart, be 100% sincere. Kids are extremely intuitive and they sense false and empty praise when it is offered. And let's go to making reading fun. Getting your child to read doesn't have to be a daily battle. Learning to make reading fun, a child can develop a love for reading that will last for a lifetime. So, how can we better equip ourselves to help our learners overcome their reading struggles? Things like patience, dedication, and encouragement are certainly cornerstone of teaching reading. There's no one magic solution or perfect formula for teaching reading, but there are factors considered in teaching. Reading can bring lifelong enjoyment and is integral part of education. It's skills that comes into every facet of education, including math and other areas of education. When a child is struggling to read, the difficulty inevitably trickles down into the other subjects. When child is struggling to read, he or she loses excitement. So try to encourage everyone to learn reading with enjoyment. How can we make reading fun? First, pick up the right books. More than just books. Making reading fun starts with selecting a book. Usually children love colored storybooks. Just looking at the pictures motivates them to read. Offer a variety of reading materials that are appropriate for her for his or her reading level. Choose books about his or her interest. Reading something your child enjoys make reading less of a chore and more fun activity. When you open up your children's eyes to new and exciting, you help them see the world in a whole literacy rich way. Suggest materials like comic books, blogs, or songs lyrics. Keep reading fresh and fun. Okay, here are the examples of a colorful books for children. Children loves storybooks because they see that it is a big book and it is colorful and they attract their attention. Next, read aloud. Reading aloud with the children can add a bit excitement to any book. Make the story more fun by using different voices in the character use expressive voices. Kids are opinionated about everything. What they read is no different. The voice and the choice strategy is an effective way to get kids wanting to read. Discuss your learners' hobbies, fears, and curiosity. Based on the conversation, you can select help them excited about learning, the voice and the choice. Okay, here are the examples of how a mother or a teacher teach reading aloud. It says that why read aloud really matters. Then, create a reading space. Make reading area where the child can read and relax. Work with the children creates totally awesome reading area. A good light ventilation makes children more comfortable. Keep paper and pen within reach so that they can take note important details or unfamiliar words. Creates a totally reading area. Next, make connections between the books and the life. Make connections between what your child is reading and child's own experiences. Read adventure books before you take a camping trip, dinosaur book before visiting a zoo, and so on. This will help make reading more exciting. When children care about and connect with the reading, they are inspired and tend to soar academically. Then, integrate technology. We all know that kids tend to excel at things that they are interested in and cared about. And teachers haven't loved all things technology. Technology is the perfect way not only to get your kids excited about reading, but offer them the opportunity to work on a variety of reading skills. Try allowing kids to play around with one of these apps or websites. To mention a few, the ABC Spy app actively helps kids learn letters and pronunciations. Bookster app, storytelling app that reads to kids and allows them to record their voice to the story as well. The Zeus ABC app, kids have the option to read a book or have it read to them. Words are highlighted for easy follow along. Next, the Me Genius app, audio playback personalization where child can substitute their name into a book, a toddler to young ones. And the readtomele.com celebrities reading books aloud. The pbskids.org has a wide variety of different reading based games with characters that kids know and love. TheZebra.com offers different interactive reading games that focus on rhyming words, word taps, capital letters, and such much more. The RandomHouseKids.com offer the two reading games that focus on matching and drawing to bring a creative element to reading. The innate understanding that kids today have with technology makes it an amazing strategy for boosting learning and engagement during reading instruction. And the sixth way of making reading fun is to make the reading strategy a game. Everyone loves games. They offer healthy competition, possibility to win, and the opportunity to be engaged in something interesting. Adding games to reading instruction is a great strategy to improve literacy skills. Here are few but more fun games used for reading. First game is to implement a word hunt. Let them find a word in a story, example a dog. The children may clap their hands and touch their nose when they come across the word dog. Let them read aloud the word and they hunted. Or let's say hunt the words tree, the word run, and the word lil, and so on. Another is finding a little word inside a big word. What's this? Let's say, what's this? This is a butterfly. What are the words you can get out of this long word butterfly? That the learners may say but, butter, fly, buffer, utter, and so on and so forth. Also, in acting out, let the children identify which part they are interested of, then give time to let them act out. And then the guessing game. Guessing the word. A word starts with L and ends with A with two letters inside. They will say the word love or so what or so on and so forth. Okay, here is the example, a picture of how the child act out. Acting out, let the children identify which part they are interested of and then give them time to let them act out. This is also an example of a guessing game. Who am I? I have four legs, I have milk, I like eating grass, I have a big body. I am a cow. And who am I? I have four legs, you can ride me. I have tusks, I have a long nose. I am an elephant. The seventh way of making reading fun is having reading hour. Each day, schedule a reading time for your child to sit down and read a chapter of a book. Reading is as easy thing to put off because there is often no exact due date and time. Establish a reasonable goal for reading and time limit. This makes reading feel manageable and make easier to get started and finish at the right time. Then, follow up. Building reading time and follow the everyday with consistency. Talk to child about what's happening in the story and the favorite part and let them think what will happen next. Then, display books. Make books as a part of a classroom, of course, and also a part of our homes. Then, if the child needs reading help and more attention, give it now. Denial is a coping strategy, won't work. Then, create a stress-free environment. Provide a space where learners can read independently at their own pace and with minimal adult intervention. You can do this by designating time each day or a 10 to 20 minutes for everyone to grab a book and read for pleasure, yourself included. Children can choose their book, find a comfortable spot in the room to read. A great idea is to furnish your room with big pillows, a beanbag, or or something that makes the children comfortable. Children won't sit at a table or desk while reading. Then, keep reading experiences active and engaging. Keep in mind that just reading more is not enough. The more engaging and active the reading experience, the more it benefits the child. Try this. Make a story come to real life by giving characters different voices and adding drama to the narration. Then, encourage your child to interrupt you if there is unfamiliar words. Have your child demonstrate their understanding in text. This helps them have better understanding of what they read. Next, making reading a social experience. Research suggests that children who choose to read for fun see themselves as part of the community with other readers, discussing what they are reading, making recommendations, even debating the value of author's intended message. This can start with a chat over something you've read aloud with a child. Encourage to connect less formally with their friends after school. Do the assignment first before doing so. Encouraging good reading habits is a step in the right direction for parents looking to help children to read well. Then, another way of making reading fun is to use songs and nursery rhymes. Children's songs and nursery rhymes aren't just a lot of fun. The rhymes and the rhythm help kids to hear sounds and syllables in words which help them read. Example, and Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. Children love rhythm, and they also want to imitate. And the last will be patient. By reading regularly, mixing things up with the activities you choose, and letting your child pick up books occasionally, you instill an early love for reading and give the best chance at reading success in no time. Always be patient. Let's go to a good reader. According to Glenn Davis, as human beings, we are designated to constantly experience the joy in learning. We need challenge and growth in every area of life to be truly alive. There is no neutrality in life. We either going forward or backward. When we stop learning, we start to die. Keep reading experiences active and engaging. Keep in mind that just reading is more enough. Research has shown that types of readers matters. First, a good reader predict or infer. Think about the title, illustrations, and what you have read so far. Tell what you think will happen next or what you will learn. Think what you already know may help and figure out things the authors did not say directly. A good reader, phonics and decoding. Good readers sounds out words. They cover part of the word to help see the base word. They look for words that belong to the families they already know. They have memorized a lot of easy words. They don't have to sound those ones out any longer. Look carefully at the word. Phonics and decoding. Look carefully at the word. Look for words parts that know and think about sounds for letters. Blend the sounds to read the word. Ask yourself, is it a word you know? And if not, ask yourself, what else I can try? Next, monitor and clarity. A good reader rereads sentences when they don't understand it. it. If you don't understand something, reread. Look at the illustrations or read ahead. Question. A good readers read and think on every page. They are always asking questions. Then a good reader evaluate. Good readers think about what they like and don't like about what they read. Next, summarize. Good readers think about what they have read in their own words, think about the characters, where the story takes place, the problem in the story, how the characters solve it. Think what happens in the beginning, middle, and the end of the story, and tell in their own words important things they have read. Why is reading good for you? There is nothing like a good book. Embrace the joy of reading and appreciate all the good that it brings to life. Reading is accessible. Our access to books today is unprecedented. We can read books in our phone, computer, or tablet, or listen to, the, to them in the room. Reading is good for the heart. Study shows that reading reduces stress, increases intelligence, expands knowledge and understanding, and improves memory. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body, by Sir Richard Steele. Next, reading is a positive distraction. Often, reading is something that we're required to do in school as a child, and then gets lost in busyness. Other forms of entertainment fight for our attention and our time, especially in the digital age. Reading can be a great way to turn away from negativities. Opening a book is a positive distraction that has the potential to bring so much good to our lives. Next, reading is a privilege. Reading should not be presented to children as a chore or a duty. It should be offered as a gift by D. Camillo. Children and adult reading is a great privilege and a gift to be able to expand our minds, learn, and grow. Why reading is good for you? We have the opportunity to add so much good for our lives by simply reading. Yet it is something that have constantly choose not to do. Being able to read and having access to book is a privilege that not all have. And overall, it is safe to say that reading can change life for better and the importance of reading is undeniable. If you think you hate reading books, then perhaps you just have yet find the genre of your own personal style. Keep on trying and keep searching for what's right for you. A book is one of the most powerful things in the world, offering you a new opportunities to learn, grow, and be inspired. Every child is unique and learn at their own pace. As no two teachers really have to individually nurture each child on their reading journey. So there is no one absolute best way to teach reading to every single child. As a teacher, I am constantly learning and evolving, but the one constant is always putting my learners first. Every home is a classroom and every parent a teacher. We will use the acronym READ. R stands for R is for ready. Children are always ready to learn new things. Think of the best time for a child to learn. E stands for easy. Remember, you are your child's hero, and your kids love spending quality time with you. Teach them to move, touch, hear, see, and speak. A stands for ability. You have the ability to teach your child at home. Do it as often as can be. And D stands for don't be afraid. Children who is ready for writing can be ready for reading. Teach them as early as can be. And, and here are the references from where I got my topic. And now, thank you everyone. Stay safe and God bless.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for your amazing session. And it is really something new, and I learned so many things as well as I do believe that our audience also could learn something. There was something, in-depth conversation. I think we can't see this type of elaboration, this type of description, demonstration in anywhere else. It was really amazing. I know it was hard session for you, but thank you so much for joining. So I think we are going to start the quiz session right now. Okay, so we are going to quiz session. All right. These members already joined in our quiz session, and okay, already they are joining to the quiz session. 20%, 20 member already joined. 24 and 25. Yeah, people are joining from in this quiz session. This is really exciting. And don't forget to join. This is really something big. For me, quiz when I was at school, college, at university, and for me, quiz was really always exciting, and I never miss any session. Yes, some in some competition I couldn't own, but most of them I own some prizes as well. For me, it is something really, it is amazing, and I'm hoping that you guys are excited as well. And I can see that the result in here, like already 30, almost 29 people join, and this is really cool. Okay, reading comprehensive strategic are best. So to develop. Okay, there are the question you guys can answer. Next question. Reading comprehension strategic are best through. Okay, to develop to all development levels. Okay, first one is answer in liner. Leaderboard, Malvik. Okay. Okay, next question. Which of these strategies does not improve reading skill? Fluency building, miming. And yes, this is time for you guys. This is really exciting. Okay, yes, miming. 85 to 81% correct answer, miming. Okay, against million. Okay, a stage of reading where readers read the text and then learn strategic and skills. Exploring or executes. Excused. Let's see where's the answer. I'm so excited. What's going on? Okay, exploring the 100% answer. And who is Marks? Okay, right now a monitoring assessment that can be used to assess progress in reading comprehension is a complete learning log and interest inventory. And we have to wait a bit. Okay, a completed learning log. And out of four, who is Dennis Botin Shero? He got yes four. In teaching effective test, taking skill, the master educator will ensure all learners clearly understanding the purpose of testing, practice competition, completing request information. Okay, then who is going to be joined? All right, 97% are clearly understanding the purpose of testing. Okay, again, Dennis with no series show, again out of 5, and he took 0.6 second. What is reading that a student needs to complete and understand in a particular subject area? Complex reading, reading in general. Go, 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 guys, go, go. Do it fast. It is exciting, really. Let's see. Reading in general, 63%. It was kind of confused, might be. Again, the same person, he took 0.27 second. A reading process in which readers activate background knowledge and make plans for reading. The readings, the writing. Okay, we can see what's going on. All right. The reading 100%. Again, Dennis Control Sirisho. Again, this person. What is reading that a student need to complete and understand in a particular subject area? Complex reading, reading in general. All right, let's see. Reading in general, 83%. Same question repeated. Okay, this time we got 83% response in reading journals. Again, Dennis with no going to Sirisu, like he's in the 18-8, good position. Okay, next. Preview reading includes previewing text heading, looking at chart. Go for it, guys. Okay. Reading is a fundamental skill. Reading is a fundamental skill that we all use every single day. Reading is everywhere, true or false. Um, let's see. I was thinking the people. All right, today's winner is Denise. Going to Sirso. Congratulations, ma'am. Man, thank you so much. It was okay. In this part. He's the winners, and let's see. Is there anything else? Okay, second. Who is the second? Anna Mary, Joy, Matthew, and number three, Mark Joshua, Diego. Number four, Marbiik. Congratulations to everyone for joining this amazing competition. I can see that it was really huge, like exciting, whatever the result, and it is taking part. It is really exciting. Thank you so much. Congratulations again, Dennis, going to show for winning this quiz competition, and thanks to everyone who joined and participate. Without your participation, that person, the who is winner, he cannot be like that. So thanks again and welcome and congratulations, Mr. Dirish, for participating and for your success. And you will get your result. You will get your certificate and very soon. Anyway, if you competition in a top 10, okay, top 10, congratulations. I think okay, so top 10 competition, you will get the certificate, and congratulations to everyone for joining and participating. And for me, any kinds of competition is kind of exciting, and whatever the result, it can be anything, but joining, participating, and it's kind of blood pressure and heartbreaking, and this is kind of excitement. That was really amazing. Thank you, Mr. Danish, again for joining and making this quiz competition amazing. So we can get into the Q&A session. Welcome again, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. And so we're gonna ask some questions, and there are some question from came from the audience, and also I have also some personal question as well. And so my first question is that for me, actually, I used to read a book a lot when I was child, but nowadays it is very hard for me to read book. But though I'm trying to read at least 5 to 10 pages every day, but it is very hard. So, ma'am, why it is happening with us? Why we can't concentrate on reading?
Yes, we will concentrate on reading, but we all know that reading is the fundamental and the vital uh, process and a skill to develop all the subject areas. Without, if the children does not know how to read, they may uh, fail in other learning areas.
All right. Ma'am, I think this scenario is also available other country, your country, and especially in my country. There is a common scenario like parents always complain that their kids, their children are not studying, and they always need to push them to study. So why we can't make our children, our like daughters, especially the adolescent, keen to study, especially reading? Why it is happening like that?
Um, it is essential to develop the love for reading in early stage so that if the child love reading at the early stage at young age, they develop that habit and
Mm.
become they will become a more active and engaging in their academic uh, academic years, especially if ever they will go to high school. They have that habit, they have the good reading, and if you are a good reader, you comprehend well, and of course you got a high grades or a high high scores on the tests.
Okay, so thank you so much, ma'am. We have another question from our one guest. So Basin Torrevesin, she asks, how can you teach the love for reading to those adolescent, might be she meant student, H is
Oh,
ADHD, might be
yes,
okay,
ADHD.
okay.
Actually, I'm not an sped teacher,
Mhm.
but maybe I can teach the learners with ADHD, uh, giving them some special materials
Mhm.
that's suited for their ability.
Okay, I think she meant to say the disabled student, isn't it, ma'am? Okay, so there is another question. Salvador. Thank you so much, ma'am, for asking. Ma'am, as a reading teacher, how do you best motivate your learners?
Yes, as a reading teacher, I motivate best my learners by giving them praises and giving them uh, many colorful materials in school. Give them inspirational messages about how I started reading from my younger years, how I started the reading with my peers, because during my early years I used to teach my classmate in reading.
All right, thank you so much. Rosario Hyde, she asked, which of the strategies you mentioned are evident to be effective in your school on developing the students' reading skill and love of reading? Okay, ma'am, please.
The strategy or the effective strategy I used in school for me is the phonemic and the phonetic awareness, or the letter sound recognition, because we started reading in mother tongue. So phonetic and phonemic awareness is essential. The letter sound recognition, by knowing the by identifying and knowing the letter and its sounds, the learners can blend and read easily.
All right. There's an amazing question, Josby or Helena. He asks, "Hi, ma'am. This tip. Given the situation, the learners resist to read. What strategy will you recommend to motivate the learners?" This is, I think, this is you have described so many strategies. That is okay. So, what are the motivational, like? What about the personal recommendation you have? How we can cannot be resist for reading.
Yes, learners learners do not learn in the same way as others will. There are learners that they resist to read. Maybe, or in my own experience, I will if a teacher is more patient in dealing with the learner, you can tell them the importance of reading. Start reading step by step, and make them know or realize that reading is important, and we cannot go on the other grade level if we don't know how to read. So
All right. Blind Wifrey, she asked, "Good afternoon, ma'am, CCT. Are the apps you mentioned in making reading fun are free? And also, what challenge do you think encountered by primary teachers in the modular distance learning?" I think this is nice
yes,
question.
ma'am. And some apps are free downloadable, and we can download it even on our cell phones, and use it for our children.
Okay, ma'am, I would like to
In my
add
only
one thing with the question. So, ma'am, there are a lot of application, but especially if you want to, educate, or if you want to bring something for your kids. So there is an application from the YouTube. It's called Kit for YouTube app. So you can download that, where you will get all the materials only for kids. There's some educational video, fun, entertainment, all the thing that is made for only kids. So you can also download the YouTube Kids apps. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we have another question. Marili and the Tamang. Hello, ma'am. What is the best strategy you can give in teaching dyslexic students?
Mm, As I said, I am not a SPED teacher, but we can children with disabilities we can sit with them, identify their needs, uh, make interesting materials that can help them.
All right. So there are so many questions. I think so. We took already a lot of times. We can't. We have to wrap up. Time is going over. Ma'am, thanks again. And it was really amazing session and strategies in teaching reading and making reading fun. And I think this is the thing. Reading. You know, if we can develop a habit for reading, it can really change our life. I know personally some people who are really successful, but still they have the reading habit. They are reading some book every day, and luckily we are too much lucky that if you don't have time to read book, but you can listen book, and there are so many applications that is completely free. I can also recommend you. It's called a big idea. It's one of them. Blinkist application is every day you will get one book within 15 to 20 minutes you can read a book, complete book. This is really free. And but if you want to spend few amounts of money, you can also buy their monthly subscription or yearly subscription. But this is really amazing. You can also see the script, or you can also, for example, you are cooking, you are doing something, but you are listening a book within 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It can really change our life. But first and foremost, like we shouldn't compel to anything. Whenever, ma'am, there is a what making reading fun. I do believe that each and everything, if whatever the thing, whatever the subject, might be it is rocket science, but if we can make it fun or in an entertainment way, so it would be really easy to learn and also answer in a deep way. So that can be really amazing way. Thanks again, ma'am, for joining, and it was really amazing session, and I learned so many things. I hope our audience could learn something. And you know this is the thing. Yes, there was so many information. Might be we couldn't all the thing, but if we can at least learn two word, two sentence, if the two sentence can change someone's life, that would be our achievement. That would be the achievement of IGP. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining, and thanks again. And hoping that we will meet again with another new session with new topic. Until then, have a nice day ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was really amazing session. Once again, if you want to gain your certificate, here is the code IGP76454, and go to our website and www.edugp.com and just place this code and to get your certificate. That is really amazing. This certificate can really help you. I think this is something. This is an you could learn something. This platform is it's not paid. It is not still not asking money, but you are that lesson was really amazing. I must say, yeah, I've been watching so many like content over the YouTube, but this type of demonstrative and destructive, like deeply discussion, I haven't seen. So that was, and also that was kind of real life, and she's been teaching for many years, and she was that was really productive. That was really realistic. So I think we could learn something, and if you could learn at least one thing from this session, that would be our achievement. That would be the OT time of IGP. So don't forget to share the link. Don't forget to share the tell your friends and family member at least, because you can't believe that your one phrase of sharing can change someone's life. See, we have to live, but we want to make a better future, better world for our next generation. Thank you so much. See you very soon. And if we found any mistake, if we made any mistake, we are truly sorry for that, and we do apologize. And thanks again. See you very soon. Thanks to IGP. Thanks to all the members who are connected behind the scene and who's been doing some hard work to make it more all the time productive. And thanks to everyone for arranging this amazing session and allow me to be associate and to be host in this amazing session. See you very soon. Have a nice day and nice weekend ahead.